We'll let you finish the food, but we're going to get started in the interest of time. Hi, I'm Chris Kelly with the West Monroe State Chamber, if you don't know me. Welcome to this 2025 State of the City Luncheon. We're so glad that you've taken the time to join us today as we gather and connect, reflect, and celebrate on our community. But before we go any further, we want to invite Pastor Chris Winterman to lead us in prayer, followed by a pledge by Mayor's Youth Council member and West Monroe Senior Titan Johnson, if you'll stand.
May we pray. Almighty God, we give you thanks again for this wonderful community of people in it. Lord, we ask for your continued blessing of wisdom upon the leadership, your continued hand of protection and peace in our classrooms, for our first responders, and for all who make their home here. Lord, as you have blessed us, may we continue to allow those blessings to flow out to help those in need. We commit this time to you, and we give you thanks as we do it, praying in the name of Christ our Lord. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today's State of the City marks another pivotal moment as we celebrate West Monroe's dynamic progress and the bold steps being taken in our future. Over the past year, West Monroe has continued tapping into extraordinary opportunities, strengthening our economy, enhancing quality of life, and bringing visionary projects to life. Our city's leadership continues to confront challenges head-on, transforming them into catalysts for long-term success and meaningful community impact. So we're proud as the Chamber to bring this update every year. It's important that we recognize some of the dignitaries and elected officials that are here today. I'm going to probably forget someone, so bear with me. We have former Congressman Rodney Alexander here, representing Congresswoman Letwood's office, Ramona Martin. We have Representative Eccles here. Representing Stuart Caffey's office, we have Cynthia Nyquist. Representing Jay Morris's office, we have Katie May. Representing Adrian Fisher's office, we have Chris Lewis. Our mayor friend from Sterlington, Matt Talbert, is here. Wendell Manning, 4th Judicial District Court Judge. From Police Jury, we have Tony Bacon, Michael Thompson, and Lon Hudson. Of course, we will have our mayor in just a moment, and our aldermen, Bill Bryan, Morgan Buxton, Tom Hamilton, Rodney Welch, Ben Westerberg, and various department heads and staff. Of course, all of our events wouldn't be possible without sponsors. And this is the time when we, of course, need to recognize our title sponsor, which is Origin Bank. We'll hear from them for just in a moment, but I need to recognize our other sponsors that make this event possible as presenting partners. We have Entergy, Blake Wheels State Farm, Acadian Ambulance Service, and TBA Studios. Will you join us in giving them a thanks? And now it is my honor to welcome Origin Bank to give a welcome on behalf of their title sponsorship. Origin Bank truly fosters investment in our community. With the Chamber, they champion the spirit of local enterprise, supporting small business at every origin story that shapes the fabric of West Monroe and West Washington. Their partnership is more than financial support. It's a commitment to helping our businesses grow, thrive, and write the next chapter of our region's success. Join me now in welcoming Rick Gio with Origin Bank.
Thanks, Chris. I'm going to straddle this thing because I'm already at tonight. Origin Bank is proud to support today's State of the City Luncheon. Being grateful for the Chamber's continued leadership, connecting people to community, and building a stronger future for our local businesses. Our purpose statement at Origin Bank is to enrich the lives of people in our community. We believe this can be accomplished through the power of relationships, especially those that move our city forward. West Monroe continues to grow, innovate, and inspire. We're honored to invest in this arena. It's now our privilege to introduce the leader that's guiding this progress. Staci Albritton Mitchell was first elected to the position of mayor City of West Monroe 2018, and again in 2022. She's proud of the accomplishments that have been made and how the community has been so involved. Improvements have been made in public safety, infrastructure projects, quality of life, and economic development. For example, downtown West Monroe has had more than $14 million in private investments since Staci's administration has begun. Look at this. That's awesome. Mayor Mitchell spent more than 25 years owning and running a successful small business. Before being elected mayor, she was elected to the City of West Monroe's Board of Aldermen. Mayor Mitchell is not comfortable with the status quo and works hard every day to make West Monroe a better place for residents and businesses. In addition to serving as mayor, Mayor Mitchell has demonstrated her love of West Monroe, working tirelessly in our community. Staci has served as chairman of the West Monroe Washita Chamber of Commerce, a past president of the Greater Washita Lions Club, a founding member of the Downtown West Monroe Revitalization Group, a director of the West Monroe High School Foundation, past president of the Cancer Foundation League, an active member and Sunday school teacher at First Methodist Church of West Monroe. She currently serves as the second vice president of the Louisiana Municipal Association and a board member for Washita River Valley Association, serves as the chairman of the advisory board for the Regional Medical Center. In October of this year, Mayor Mitchell received the Alice Foster Award from Keep Louisiana Beautiful, which is the state's highest award for litter abatement, recycling, and beautification. Mayor Mitchell was inducted to the Louisiana 4-H Hall of Fame for her lifelong career as a 4-H, and now a volunteer working with the Washita Parish 4-H Club in August 2025. Mayor Mitchell has a degree in agriculture and economics from Louisiana State University. She's married to Jay Mitchell, a local attorney. They have 4 grown children, 4 precious grandchildren, with a granddaughter due this spring. Please welcome Mayor Staci Albritton Mitchell.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here with you today. I'm going to start by saying thank you, Rick, for all those kind words, and of course for the sponsorship, as well as TBA and Acadian and Blake Wheelis. Who's the other one? Energy, I'm so sorry. Energy, yes, I'm going to forget. Thank you very much. And of course, a big thank you to West Monroe Washita Chamber for hosting today's event. Now, before I get started, we are here today to talk about the state of the city, about the state of West Monroe. We're not here to talk politics. But there is an election coming next spring, and yes, I am running for re-election. So we're going to start by introducing the City Council. These members work for all of West Monroe. They are always keeping what's best for West Monroe in the front of their minds, and of course, making good decisions for that. So I don't think Morgan is with us today. I think she got a time on a work trip. But Morgan Buxton represents District 1. Mr. Paul Bryan, if you would stand, of course, represents District 2. Ms. Rodney Welch represents District 3. And our 2 at-large aldermen, Tom Hamilton and Ben Westerberg. Thank you for being here and for working with us as you do. I want to also introduce our department heads. You may have to stand up for me so I can see you out there. Chief of Staff, Courtney Hornsby. Where are you? There you are. We have Building and Development, Jonathan Kaufman. Finance, Matthew Wilson. Public Works, Daryl Platt. We have Vicki Hillman, where's Vicki? Community Services, there you are. Doug Caldwell, City Attorney. Yep. Chris Post, he's over Event Facilities. Lydia Holland also serves as City Attorney. And we have Chief Jason Pleasant and Chief Daniel Overturk. Thank you very much. These are the people making it happen every day. And then real quick, I have some family I'd like to introduce. I think most of you know my husband, Jay Mitchell. He's here, of course. My dad and stepmom, Bill and Rita Albritton. We have 2 kids this year, because we have 4. We got 2 of them here. So Casey Semino and Mary Allison Hopper. Thank y'all for being with us today. So we're going to talk a lot of stuff. We're going to talk finances, we're going to talk projects, we're going to talk economic development. Now, while I know this may not be as entertaining as maybe Parks and Rec or The Bachelor, but this is good stuff. So I hope that you'll really get everything out of it that it's intended to, because it is good information. So we'll start with finances. The city's finances are in good shape. So you can see on there our general fund revenue is $28.9 million, and our general fund expenses runs just over $25 million. A lot of times people ask, where did your revenue come from? Or I should say, I ask that question a lot of times, and people always say taxes, and that is correct. But specifically, what kind of taxes? So 70% of the general fund revenues in the city of West Monroe comes from sales taxes. That's why you see us wear these Shop West pins. You see us really emphasizing shopping local to not only support our local economy and our local businesses, but to ensure that your local government has the funds needed to make sure that we all have sewer, water, streets, drainage, and public safety. That's very important. So I hope that this holiday season, as you're going about, that you keep that in mind and shop local. In contrast, the city's property tax revenue only accounts for 4.5% of our total revenue. So how is our sales tax broken down? In the city of West Monroe, 10.99% is what is collected. It's what we all pay when we purchase something. There's a chart there on the screen that you can kind of see how it's broken down. And the Chamber has made a fantastic guide that's, I think, at all your places that has a lot of this information in it and a lot more information. So I want to say thank you for that. But of the 10.99% that's collected in the city of West Monroe, the first 5% goes to the state of Louisiana. The second 3% goes to the Washington Parish School Board, and the remaining 2.99%, the smallest amount, goes to the city of West Monroe. And you can see on that chart, there's kind of broken down, a portion of that is dedicated straight to the capital fund, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment. And because we have good sales tax revenue in the city residents and businesses get to enjoy paying the lowest property taxes in Washington Parish. There's a chart there, you can see West Monroe is at 81.58 mils compared to 1.5584 mils if you live in Sterlington. This is repairage in your city villages combined, but living in the city of West Monroe is the lowest in the parish. We've talked revenue, let's talk expenses. Here's a pie chart to show you our general fund expenses broken down by department. And you can see the gray area there, the largest percentage does go to public safety because it's so important. We know that there. Fund balance. Think of a fund balance, it's called fund balance in governmental accounting, but think of it as a savings account for our personal, our homes and our households. When I came in office in 2018, it was fiscal year 2019, we had a fund balance of $5.9 million. Today, in 2025, we have a fund balance of just over $12 million. Now you're probably going, well, why do you have that, or how did that happen? Well, it happened because we really emphasize efficiency within departments. We've made some changes, done things to improve efficiencies. We really stress that to our department heads. We've had good sales tax revenue. We get to enjoy that here in the city. And then we have also been intentionally saving money to be able to use that to leverage with grant funds to do more projects. And we will talk about that a little bit later too. So some of this money will get spent, but it will be spent towards projects that are making a difference for the people of West Monroe. Capital Fund. The Capital Fund is funded by the 1986 1-cent sales tax. It goes directly to it. It's dedicated to capital equipment and infrastructure. So those are our sewer system, water system, streets, our buildings, our computers, all your stuff, your capital. That's what it goes to. It was voted on and approved in 1986. It came up, it's a 10-year renewal. It came up in 1996. It was voted on and approved. It was voted on and approved again in 2006. Again in 2016, and I think you all know where I'm going with this. It is coming up for renewal in 2026, and I hope that you will all support it because it is crucial for the city of West Monroe to continue to have capital to do the projects we're doing and make the progress that we're seeing. So let's talk about the capital fund just a little bit more. Capital fund generates, that sales tax generates about $7 million a year. And of that $7 million, $3.5 to $4 million of it is what we have kind of discretionary to be able to go towards grant funding. for project match and maybe some of these unexpected expenses that we have. The other portion is already committed or dedicated. And with that $3.5 to $4 million a year, the city leverages that with grant funding, and we're able to do between $8 and $10 million a year on average in projects. So we're really making good use and being good stewards of the city's money. And this shows you how important this fund is. In the last 5 years, $52 million has been invested in capital projects. Now, these are grant-specific projects. This is leveraging grant money. This is not putting a new roof that we had to put on the courthouse a few years ago. These are grant-specific projects. So we're getting 2 for 1 for our money. You can see that pie chart's basically 50-50. 50% grant funds, 50% city funds. So I think in the betting world, 2 for 1 is pretty good odds, right? I don't know, I don't do that, but that's what I'm told. So let's talk about some of those projects. And it's always fun. I like this part when I'm preparing for the State of the City because I get to go back and really see all the things you've done. So you're always working towards more and looking to the future and in the moment. A lot of times you forget really what all got accomplished. Sewer. When I came in office in 2018, there were some sewer needs, deferred maintenance, specifically in our sewer and drainage systems. So sewer projects, we have a lot of smaller projects going on, sewer rehabs, manholes, that type of the smaller lift stations. But we have 2 huge sewer lift stations in the city, and they both needed to be new, replaced. So we immediately started working on funding for these because there was no identified funding. And you've heard me talk about the Drago Street Sewer Lift Station. I'm happy to tell you that with the help of our legislators, we did receive funding from the water sector as well as capital outlay. That project is under construction. That's a picture there to show you. In fact, this picture is probably 4 to 6 weeks old. In fact, it's got a structure above the ground now. But to show you the magnitude of that project, that's a wet well, because I was asked what exactly does a sewer lift station does. Sewer comes to it. I'll give you Staci's terms. Sewer comes to it, then it lifts up, because we use gravity flow sewer, and it lifts it up and pipes it on back down to the next station so that it can then get piped out to the wastewater treatment plant. But that's a 30-foot wet well, and you can see the size. There's 2 track hose, there's a crane, there's some people in that other picture, so you can see the size of this sewer lift station. This is the largest, second largest lift station in the city. It serves Thomas Road Corridor, Linwood Hospital, the high school, and about 2,400 residents. So that shows you how important it is. And this is a brand new lift station, $5.8 million invested. I think right at $4 million of it is grant funding. So I want to say thank you. Right after this, coming this spring, we will see the Austin Street Sewer Lift Station go out for bid. We have funding secured for that one as well. It is the largest lift station in the city, where all the sewer goes, then it gets piped out to our wastewater treatment plant. So with 2 brand new, modern, state-of-the-art sewer lift stations, our sewer system is really going to be in good shape, not only for our current needs, but for growth and an additional capacity. Drainage was also something that when I was campaigning for mayor the first time, I was hearing a lot from people. It's just decades of drainage problems in residential neighborhoods and other areas across the city. So again, coming into office, first thing we did, I remember meeting with S.E. Huey on this project is the Highland Park Detention Project. And that alleviated flooding that we had seen forever in areas just north of Highland Park or Arkansas Road there, and south of Highland Park, which would be Otis Street, alleviated. Gone. Haven't had water in the house since. And I love this piece of property too. We can talk more about that. I kind of geek out on this one because the Highland Park area, not only do we have detention, so it's solving problems. We have public recreation with the trails. We have residential on the east end for new homes, and we have commercial development on the west end, which helps with sales tax revenue and generating commerce. But get off tangent. Let's go back to drainage. So not only do we do that project, but you see a lot of the other projects that were done. And these are just the big ones. There's lots of stuff being done. Sunshine Heights is currently under construction. It's a really, really good project. I know it's a mess, and it's going to be a little inconvenient for a little while, but even only about 50% complete, we're seeing improvements in the drainage in that neighborhood. Here's some more to show you, and I put two of these. I put Sunshine Street and Downing Pines in there because Public Works has taken on more and being able to do more, and they actually did these two projects. So again, the department heads hear me say we got to be efficient and as effective as possible with our funding, and so doing this just shows that they're really trying and doing a really good job there. Streets and transportation. We've had some really good street projects recently. I'm sure you've seen there's been mill and overlays around town the last few years. I want you to know there's not as much funding out there for streets. Street grants are hard to come by and get. But because West Monroe and City of Monroe and Washington Parish Police Jury were all part of a program called Urban Systems, we get an allocation of money every year and the streets get prioritized. We've been able to get a lot of streets done. And you see there's just a few there that have been done that's all part of Urban Systems. And then with capital outlay and help of our state legislators again, we've been able to get a new bridge at Rowley Road, North 3rd Street. Just recently Constitution Drive was able to get redone. And these are all really good street transportation projects. Now, I mean, we're not looking for money. We're always looking for grant funding for streets. Streets are expensive. About $1 million a mile, and that's a 2-lane regular street mill and overlay. Okay, $1 million a mile. Put that in perspective. City has 89 miles of city streets. Okay, that's not the state highways and stuff because we don't do those, or the private streets. We just do the city streets. 89 miles, and our average daily traffic count is 315,000 vehicles per day. Okay, so we've got a lot of streets and a lot of people on them, so a lot of wear and tear. But we are always working on grant funding, and so because of the cost and because of this, Public Works came to us about, 18 months, 2 years ago, and said, Mayor, we really want to, I think we can do a lot for our streets. I want to create a preventative maintenance team, and I want these 2 pieces of equipment. We need a crack sealer and an asphalt zipper. We were able to get the crack sealer, and that Public Works has been using the crack sealer, and we just recently got an asphalt zipper, so now they can do smaller mill and overlays and do a better job at patching potholes. And what that's doing is that is extending the life of our streets while we go out and look for the big money and be able to get the grant money to do the full mill and overlays. So I do want to say thank you to Public Works, and Daryl, where are you? There you are. Yeah, people are doing a great job, so thank you for that. Water. We all know water is important. Even before I came in office, from 2015 to 2018 or so, about $6.6 million had been invested in water with a new water well and a treatment system, the filtration system, and some other smaller water jobs. Since that time, we have continued to invest at a tune of about $5.2 million. You can see those projects listed up there on the screen. And I think everyone in the room, if you don't know, and I'll give you a little education here, but our water, our drinking water, comes from the Sparta Aquifer, where we are. It serves about 18 parishes in north to northwest Louisiana, so that way. And the Sparta Aquifer, where we're located in it, has a very high mineral content, specifically tannins. So our water has always had a little bit of a natural color to it. It's not something new. It's not dirty. We all, we know it. But a lot of money gets spent on trying, and the water is safe to drink. It's clean to drink. You see, we're an A-rated state water system by the Louisiana Department of Health. And we're always looking ways, doing things, filtration systems, replacing carbon, other projects to minimize the color. So what I want you to know is that money has been invested, money is continuing to be invested in water, and how much effort and funding is prioritized to ensure that we have clean, safe drinking water. You can see the projects coming up there in the near future. And again, because water is so important, we will continue to invest in water. So those are projects, just again, hitting the highlights of some things we've done. Now we're going to talk about what I call upcoming projects. These are projects that we're going to see get started. We expect them to get started this next year. You see some street projects there at the top. Again, thanks to our state legislators. I told Representative Eccles earlier that we want some more of that kind of money. That's that cash money. We like that kind of money. So he's been very helpful with all of that, as well as all the others. We have repairs coming to Black Bayou Canal. You'll see that go to bid right after the first of the year. And that is specifically this section from behind Tinseltown to Walmart, the concrete section. You've seen those panels that have slid and they're in disrepair. So we're excited that we have funding through that, through EDA, and that will go to bid right after the first. We have cottage streets and subsurface work. We have sidewalk work. We have more drainage work. Sewer, you see all the sewer going on there. Carbon replacement in the wells. But what I really want you to get out of this is that this is more than $17 million worth of investments into our critical infrastructure expected to begin this next year. Then I have what I call future projects. And future means they're coming. May not be the very super near future, but they're coming. These are projects that have funding. They're in the process, and you've heard me talk about before how long it takes to get things through. There's, DOTD approval, FEMA approval, environmental approval, Corps approval, you name it, they gotta approve it. And so it's a long process, but these are upcoming in the next, I'm going to say 2 to 4 years, we're going to see these projects. And again, what I want you to get out of this slide is this is more than $30 million worth of investment. I am going to hit a couple of the highlights. The Black Bayou Canal pumps and pump station, that's huge. Those together are $10 million. We have sets of, we do gravitational flow drainage of the city, which is much faster than pumps, but at times we do have to have pumps to, when the river's high. But we have 2 sets of pumps, and they call them the new pumps and the old pumps. And they really should be called the old pumps and the older pumps. They're from the 1950s and the late 80s, early 90s, which I really don't consider that old, but it is in terms of, pump stations and technology. But we are on the route of getting, on the way of getting new pumps and new pump station. It's a $10 million project. I know Jonathan and Robbie George and KNOE are working on that, and so we will see that happen. That was a huge win. The Downing Pines Roundabout, that's a $5 million project. I want to say Lazenby and Associates, I think I saw some of them here maybe. Anyway, over there. Yeah, there they are. They're working on this. I want to say thank you on that because this is going to make a tremendous improvement in traffic flow in the area that we're seeing growth out by Hamilton and the industrial park. And there's others. Y'all can read all that. But again, it's $30 million worth of projects. And this is not all we'll see. We're always looking for funding. We are always, have projects in the pipeline, so there will be other projects done as well. These are the big ticket items and what I wanted to highlight for you today. Because public safety is so important and it's 40% of our budget, I wanted to hit some highlights on public safety today. Thanks to the voters, we have some dedicated funding. You heard me say that, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But I do want you to know that the city has invested in a community police unit. The city has a full-time school resource officer at West Monroe High School, as well as officers that go to the elementary schools that are located in the city. The police is fully staffed. That was not the case 7.5 years ago. The fire department has a new chief. Chief Overturf, stand up again. Yep, he stood up a minute ago, but we're glad to have, 2 months? 2 months in. We love him. He's doing great. So glad to have you. The fire department does the CARES program, and they do a lot in fire safety education. They're doing good things there, so happy about that. The most exciting thing, though, that has happened in public safety is the dedicated funding. So we now have a brand new fire truck. I think it's parked out front, so if you haven't seen it, I hope you'll go check it out. And it's not only the truck, but it's all the equipment on there. New equipment, modern equipment, state of the art. There's a photograph of the push-in ceremony there, so that was a good fun day. And our police department has body cameras. They went live last week. Chief Pleasant, things are going good. He's got one in his hand, so if anybody wants to go see the body camera, go see Chief Pleasant over there. As well as you see a crime scene van, a new crime scene van was able to be purchased this year. So thank you to the voters for this dedicated funding. I am very happy that it will be with these 2 departments now for the future. Economic development. I think you've heard me say, and I hope you remembered what I said when I say everything we do is economic development. Everything we do, every day, working to make West Monroe the place that businesses and people, residents want to be, is economic development. But there are specific economic development tools and things that are done to spur growth. And one of those things is creation of an economic development district. They're very common things that local governments and state governments can do to create, to boost growth, accelerate investment, create jobs, attract businesses to an area. I'm laughing because my husband's phone just went off, and last year it was my dad's. So we told my dad earlier, I was like, make sure your phone's off. Should remind you, Jay. Anyway, sorry. So, don't get me off track. So economic development districts, these are specific zones, like I said, created in an area that needs to see maybe some spur in economic activity. Funds generated within an economic development district can only be spent on infrastructure and economic development projects within the district. Okay? They can't just be spent on anything. There's specific zones and there's specific rules there. So, with the creation of the West Monroe Economic Development District, we have the West Monroe Sports and Event Center, which is an amazing facility, and we are so proud, and I hope that you are so proud to have a facility of this caliber in our community. Who has not been to the facility? Don't be shy. Look at that. Y'all have all been over there. That is fantastic. There's a hand up, I can't see it, so that's great. Fantastic. I figured there'd be a couple maybe. So let's talk about this facility. Most people know why it was created and how it impacts our economy and our community, but let's recap these specifics. So a study was done by the Discover Monroe West Monroe, that's our local tourism bureau, that showed the opportunity for increased sports tourism with an indoor facility. City of West Monroe had an EDD, so we had a funding source. Money did not have to come out of general fund revenue. It's got its own separate funding source. And the City of West Monroe partnered with Discover Monroe West Monroe and the Washoe Parish Police Jury, who were both monetary contributors to this facility, to build it. And let me tell you, it is doing good things. Look at all the people you see in those photographs. And it's like that. In fact, we had a meeting yesterday. Jamie told me that it is booked from December 5th to August. I think there's maybe 2 weekends open. That's it. So this facility is doing good things. But what I really want to show you is some stats. I like stats. So this is from February of 2024 to July of 2025. Remember, it just opened, had a little soft opening in January of 2024. So it's only been open with these numbers about 17 months. The economic impact was already $5.8 million. Discover Monroe West Monroe has already said it is the second largest economic impactor in our parish, just behind the Ike Hamilton, and the Ike is 24 years old. So this facility is paying off. You can see those stats there. My favorite number is at 600,000 plus visitors and participants. That's how many people came through that facility during those 17 months. And because of all of this, we, the locals, get to use this facility too. We get to enjoy it. So when it's not booked with sports tourism, we're able to use this. These are the community use numbers right here. Monday to Thursday numbers. We've had 22 events, 500 practices, 2,000 participants and things. And we just had the sign-ups and the creation of all the youth basketball league teams, which is a great thing for our youth. And we had 438 youth this year get to play basketball in this facility. And here's what's coming. This is the current fiscal year that's going on. These numbers, which you can tell, the numbers of the events and things, they're more than last year. So it's going to continue to grow and add to our economy. And things like this type of project, is just another reason. It's generating sales tax revenue, it's generating economic activity. Again, another reason that we get to enjoy low property taxes in Washoe Parish and West Monroe. Not only is it generating revenue with the sports tourism, but it's also serving as a catalyst for development. I know that you've seen the construction, the Residence Inn, 108-room hotel is being built right next door. It will open next spring. And then Lake Latigo, there's 54 cabins that are being built back behind the Ike on those lakes that are also going to be opening very soon. I think the first portion of it will be open very soon. And already, I think they're already rented. So again, it's doing what it's supposed to do here. So the creation of the EDD and the investment made in the West Monroe Sports and Event Center is paying off for everyone, whether you walk in the doors of that building or not. And it's doing it by generating sales tax revenue from people coming from outside our community into our community, staying in our hotels, eating at our restaurants, shopping in our stores before they head on home. So this is a good project, and it will continue to grow and add to our economy and our quality of life. But that's not all we do for economic development. We're part of KNOE. It's our regional economic development organization. And when I stood here before you last year, it was pre-meta. You know, I think now they talk in terms of pre-meta and post-meta. So we were pre-meta last year. And even pre-meta, we were working with Rob and the group to see what we could do to expand some of our industrial park and some, attract some industrial business. West Monroe's problem is we don't have large sites. I mean, we're landlocked. So we have smaller sites and things in our industrial park. So post-meta, we have fast-tracked some projects, and we are working with KNOE and LED to open up about 75 acres for development in the back of the industrial park. We're working to extend Exchange Street and connect it to Frost Commercial Parkway for easier access in and out of the industrial park to both interstate access points at those sides. We're looking to expand some infrastructure in the back. We're doing everything that we can do to be development ready, to be shovel ready, so as we see this explosion of growth that we know is coming. So we've talked finance, projects, economic development. Now let's talk about the fun stuff. Let's talk about what makes life fun, what makes worth living here and loving where we live. Let's talk about our community, coming together and having events, having things to do, places to go. And you know what else is a great big part of quality of life? It's recycling. So I think in September actually of 2018, I came in office in July. I think by September of 2018 we opened the first recycle center. And because of the overwhelmingly positive response, we quickly outgrew that facility. And thanks to some hard work from Courtney and Denise and Jonathan, the team at West Monroe, they were able to get a grant from EPA for $1 million and allowed us to expand our recycling facility. These are the stats from the new facility. It opened in February. So these numbers are from February to the end of October. You can see there that over 21,000 cars have been to the facility. If you haven't been, it's easy. You drive in, you pop your trunk or your hatchback, they get out your recycling, and you go on about your way. It is so easy. It is quick and easy. It's located back in the industrial park. But look at the numbers of different products that have been kept out of our landfills and out of our waterway. City of West Monroe was recently awarded the highest award from Keep Louisiana Beautiful for these efforts for recycling, conservation, litter abatement, and beautification. And that is something that I'm very proud of, because we all want to live somewhere that's safe and clean and beautiful, but we also want to leave that for our future generations. And honestly, it's about creating place and community attachment. It's about, again, enjoying where we live, loving our community. These are the things that make people want to stay living somewhere. These are the things that make people want to move and be somewhere or come home if they've moved away after college or high school. These are the fun things. This is our community. This is you giving your time, your talents, and your money for our entire community. So, what is the state of the city? Taxpayer money is being used efficiently and effectively by leveraging grant funds, and we are able to invest millions in infrastructure. Public safety has dedicated funding to continue to offer quality services. Our economic development projects are paying off, and they're doing that by delivering with sales tax revenue, adding to our economy and our quality of life. These projects allow the City of West Monroe residents and businesses to pay the lowest property taxes in Washita Parish. And we, all of us, we are creating place and community attachment. Wouldn't you all agree that West Monroe is absolutely going in the right direction? Thank you for what you do to our community, your contributions. Thank you for sharing in the vision. Thank you for being part of the progress. I am honored, I am privileged, and I feel very, very blessed to get to serve as your mayor.
Every city has a story, but here at West Monroe, we're not just telling ours, we're rewriting the next chapter together. This year, the City of West Monroe has made major strides in infrastructure improvements, investing millions of dollars in streets, replacing and improving sewer and water lines, including a brand new sewer lift station. From streets repaved to major drainage projects underway, we are rebuilding the bones of our city and laying the basic foundation for the future development for residents and businesses. In the past 5 years, $52 million has been invested on capital improvements in West Monroe, with 50% of that being project-specific grant funding.
People notice the difference, and that's what makes the job work.
These aren't just projects. These are promises kept for us and future generations.
West Monroe is alive, not by chance, but by design with careful and thoughtful planning with community input.
We chose to invest in West Monroe because it's clear the city is on a strong growth trajectory. Our Lake Latigo development features approximately 54 cabins and a total project value of $9 million. Located in the heart of West Monroe, this development is within walking distance of the Ike Hamilton Expo Center, the new indoor sports complex, and Interstate 20. With Mayor Mitchell investing significantly in the community's future, it felt only natural to follow suit and be part of this momentum.
About 15 years ago, we developed Hampton in West Monroe, and then 10 years ago, Home 2 Suites here in West Monroe. And since then, we've seen another opportunity with more enhancements in attractions and facilities such as West Monroe Sports Complex. We've seen opportunities and feel like there's room for growth. A lot of subsidiary businesses, ancillary businesses are also affected, such as shopping, gas stations, restaurants. It's a great dynamic that's happening right here in West Monroe.
25 years now, we've been here right in the center of West Monroe, serving up good catfish, family-owned, family-friendly, and we just are so grateful to be a part of West Monroe community.
Through public-private partnerships, properties like Highland Park Commercial Property, Highland Park Wetland Trails, Trenton Bend Subdivision, development of Point West, and in the industrial park, more than $35 million has been invested throughout the city of West Monroe. And in downtown private investment is turning historical spaces into hubs of creativity, commerce, and connection. Quality of life is more than green space. It's what makes living somewhere fun and enjoyable. Creating attachment to a community through amenities, events, arts, and culture is what creates and keeps a community thriving.
We're Madison County Coast, business owners and proud residents of West Monroe, Louisiana.
It's so special to own a business in the community that I was born and raised in, and give back to the same community that's given so much to me.
Living in the city limits, we love how the town takes care of us and how we're just a safe walk from Crowley Park, which is a great place to have a family.
For us, there's no better place to live, raise a family, and own a business than West Monroe, Louisiana.
What we love about living in West Monroe is the standard of living, the cleanliness of the city, neighbors working together. It's family oriented. Everybody supports one another. They come out, they support us at football games, basketball, baseball, softball, all avenues and all ventures that we have here on campus. And we truly value and appreciate their support here at West Monroe High School. And the combination of the community and the high school working together is what truly makes West Monroe a special place to live. Public safety, that's non-negotiable.
With citizen support, West Monroe has upgraded equipment, we've enhanced training, and expanded community outreach.
During college, I went to Louisiana Tech, and I was able to commute back and forth while residing in West Monroe to stay involved in the community. After middle school, it was an absolute no-brainer to return home to practice dentistry. I love being a dentist, but what I love more is being able to serve and to treat the patients of West Monroe, where many of these individuals were actually folks who helped raise and shape me.
One thing I love about West Monroe is our outside opportunities. I've gotten into pickleball the last 2 or 3 years, and so has West Monroe. Another thing I've enjoyed is my wife and I have kayaked down the Washita River, and you can land your kayak at Lazar Park. There's a new beach area right there, and kayak to that spot.
The future of West Monroe is bright, from residential development and business growth to infrastructure. We're planning smart and using tax dollars efficiently and effectively to do more. West Monroe is more than a city. It's a community proud of our faith, family, values, innovation, and